So, why do we embrace logic yet fail to act upon it? You know, it's quite obvious if you look at things logically that certain actions are better than others. One of the aspects that Blue Sheep have been developing over the last 4 years has been a product called a Money Map, which looks to logically segment our customers into those that we should treasure and those that we should avoid. And we've pitched this into a number of clients and have quite categorically been able to show that the avoid class of their customer base is generating some 9% of their revenue, yet costing them 35% of their marketing budget and their cost to serve budgets. So there's whole sectors that should fundamentally be thrown away. They cost you money. Will they ever get beyond being poor customers? In our model, they're unlikely to. Yet when we come to try and sell this service into clients as a means of segmenting their market, they become hesitant. And I keep on questioning, why? Why are you hesitant? Why are you concerned about this logic? It's logical, it just happens. And it's taken me some while to actually realise that, you know, humans are also emotional. You know, we like touchy-feely. We're used to doing things. We don't like change. So what has gone before becomes ingrained in us. We don't want to make the changes that are necessary, although logically they're the right things to do. They're difficult to implement. There'll be emotional ties that we need to break with customers and suppliers, and they become very difficult for people to do. But the same applies to customers, because one of the things that happens as part of a money map, although it's a logical process that says these customers are better than those, so treasure are better than avoid, both in terms of individual customers but in total as well. But we become hesitant at changing our marketing. But if we don't change our marketing, we're in danger of losing the treasure accounts that we look after, because they're emotional too. And if we don't look after them differently, if we don't treat them differently, if we don't change our behaviour and we try and treat them all the same, be they avoid or be they treasure, we're going to upset people. So just as people won't change their marketing strategy or buy our services immediately without deliberation and huge conferences and conference calls because they're concerned about how that's going to impact on the business and the relationship that they have with their customers, the converse is true. If they don't embrace it, the relationships they'll have with their customers will be the wrong relationships. They will be having treasure-style relationships with avoid-type customers, and therefore attracting the wrong types of customers to their business. And they'll be having avoid-type relationships with treasure accounts, so they leave the business and go and spend with your competitor. But it's taken me a while to actually get attuned to the emotional side and to be able to play that. Because as logic, the cold logic, the mathematical formula is cold. It doesn't take into account the human time that's been poured into winning clients, that's been poured into marketing campaigns, that has been developed, some marketing campaigns have been developed over years by various people you respect, people that you've always had a high regard for. You know, there is that whole thing of, you know, the mark of old cars like Jaguar still hold sway because of the time that's been invested in them over the years. They have history, they have you know, a place in time. It's really quite interesting as to whether you are a past-based person or a future-based person, and this is still part of the same debate. Eric Cantona was on the radio talking about his 92 French appearances. He played for France, and he said he didn't keep any shirts because the shirts tied him to his past, and he wanted to be released for his future because he still saw himself as having a future. Okay, so his logic pattern was that if I keep all this past baggage, I'm tying myself to the past. If I get rid of it, I release it. I release myself to look to the future. And we as humans tie ourselves to our past. So things that have happened before, because we think these people must have known better than us, we allow those things to continue. And we struggle to change them. Even when logic shows quite clearly, and Pareto argued this when he was an economist and financier in Venice, that 80% of your revenue will come from 20% of your customers. And we can now show that to be the case. We can identify exactly who those customers are, and also those that you should treasure and look after, because they will become treasure customers. But people are scared to adopt it because it's new. And although the logic clearly shows that to be the case, the tie with the past is difficult to break because we're emotionally attached to it. But if we don't become future-based, as Cantona would say, then we're going to repeat all the mistakes of the past, and we're going to end up with the same type of customer base we've got today. And we need to change the customer base because we have too many customers, not too few. And we need to serve fewer, better customers better. And if we can manage to do that, then we can create better companies, better jobs, better profitability for businesses.